Hi everyone. Okay, so today we're going to talk about intellectual property, and I just want you to think about if you had, imagine you were using some of our pixelation tools and you created an image and you posted it online for your friends to see, but a week later you find out someone took that image, put it on a t-shirt, and now they're selling it for $10. How would you feel about this? Right? So basically, today we're going to talk about how when you create materials on a computer, you own them. They are your intellectual property. This is kind of encompasses anything that you might create, a poem, something that you've choreographed, a song, a story you've written. Using materials created by someone else and trying to pass them off as your own is plagiarism when you don't have the creator's permissions. So copyright law is what protects you. You don't have to file for a copyright. Anything that you create is automatically copyrighted for you, and your work is copyrighted just on its face. There may even be legal consequences if you use materials that are not your own. We can see from our discussion that it can be complicated when we talk about ownership of digital information, and we're going to talk about this more. There's an article that I have up on Google Classroom about the Fortnite stealing dance moves, and if you are working fully remotely, now would be the time to pause this video and you would go ahead and read the article. I want you to summarize it, highlight using Cami, highlight what it is that you'd like to learn more about. And then after we've done that, after everyone's read the article and you've kind of gotten a sense of how, in this case, it really wasn't that a digital kind of product was stolen, but it was a dance move that was made into a digital product. Okay, so after you read the article, I want you to think about, you would pause it and come back, and now let's assume that you're back. I want you to think about the fact that this article brings up issues around copyright, and based on what you've read and your own experiences, what questions do you have about copyright? What is it that you would like to learn more about? Okay, there are a lot of complexities to owning and sharing digital information, and you have to really think about who might benefit or who is harmed by these policies. And I'm sure you can find current news stories that cover these points. Okay, and songs that are stolen, or logos that are used. It happens all the time. It falls under copyright law. Okay, and how are our current copyright policies helping or hurting society? There are times that you don't need permission to use something. It's the four corners, and we will talk about that as well in class. If you're using it for a parody, if you're using it for a news article, if you're using it for education, there are times that you can use parts of someone's work. If you use the full work in its totality, you need copyright permission. So for instance, if I wanted to show a movie in class, I would have to get permission, or I'd have to be showing it from a platform that I've gotten a licensed version, unless I'm showing you a clip. If I'm showing you a clip and it's in an effort to make a point about something and it's for education, then it's perfectly fine and I don't need to get copyright permission. Okay, let's watch this quick video.
As you know, we're all interacting with digital devices day and night. Digital media offers an empowering set of tools. Everyone can access, move, reshape, and reshare creative content in all kinds of new ways. As we use our devices, we are consumers of creative work. Music, movies, books, images, games, software, and more. We're also creators, as we take photos, write and record songs, make movies, write stories, develop apps, games, and more. Since we all interact with, create, and share each other's work, knowing the rules of the road for getting and using creative work legally and ethically is one of the essential literacies of our time. Those rules are governed by copyright. In the past, copyright was something that only big publishing houses or movie studios needed to think about. But today, copyright is more relevant to our day-to-day activities than ever before. As we navigate the many choices we have as both creators and enjoyers of media, there are some important legal and ethical considerations we need to keep in mind. Like, just because something is easy from a technology standpoint, like digital file sharing, that doesn't mean it's automatically okay. Our internet communities work best when we understand the basic ground rules and treat each other fairly. Respecting the rights of artists and creators benefits all of us, as we, in turn, are artists and creators.
Okay, let's continue.
Let's look at how artists and creators benefit from copyright, and how copyright encourages and rewards speech and creativity. Because of copyright, creators get some control over their work. Often, it's economic control. Like they get to decide where their work will be sold and for how much. This helps them earn money from their creative work.
Sometimes, artists are more focused on artistic control, so their creations stay true to their vision.
Either way, guaranteeing that control gives artists incentives to produce more work. Take, for example, these guys. Dude Perfect got its start on YouTube doing trick shot videos that went viral. Now they have a huge online following and make money from ad revenue.
Nice!
Their viral videos also gave them new opportunities to collaborate with famous sports personalities. And it keeps going. One of the dudes, Corey Cotton, wrote a book, Go Big, that shares the secrets of building a business through social media. Copyright creates a marketplace for creators and artists, like this.
So, the Dude Perfect guys chose to make their videos free and available to everyone, but they still own them with copyright. And other people don't get to copy their videos and put them up online anywhere they want, right?
Right. This control over their videos made it possible for them to gather a large online following, which in turn provided more opportunity for creative work, like the book deal and TV appearances.
Here's another example of copyright at work. In 2014, Taylor Swift decided to take her music down from Spotify. Some people weren't happy. She did several interviews about her decision. In an interview with Time magazine, she said,
I tried it and I didn't like the way it felt. I think there should be an inherent value placed on art, and I didn't see that happening perception-wise when I put my music on Spotify. With Beats Music and Rhapsody, you have to pay for a premium package to access my albums, and that places a perception of value on what I've created. I just don't agree with perpetuating the perception that music has no value and should be free. Also, a lot of people were suggesting to me that I try putting new music on Spotify. I felt like I was saying to my fans, if you create music someday, if you create a painting someday, someone can just walk into a museum, take it off the wall, and it's theirs now, and they don't have to pay for it. I didn't like the perception.
Copyright makes that her choice. She gets to decide who distributes her music, and she didn't like how Spotify was doing it.
Okay, here's a completely different example. Wu-Tang Clan did something really crazy. They released an album edition of One.
What? What do you mean, one?
I mean, only one copy. The plan was to have it play in only museums, and the only way to hear it would be to tour the museum. Wu's RZA said, "The idea that music is art has been something we advocated for years, and yet it doesn't receive the same treatment as art. Especially nowadays, when it's been devalued and diminished to almost the point that it's been given away for free." In the end, Wu-Tang decided to sell it to a private collector for $2 million, with the agreement that it cannot be exploited for money for 88 years. Weird, huh? For Wu-Tang Clan, part of the art was its presentation as a collector's item. Copyright makes that an option for them. They have the right to decide how their music is distributed, even if it's crazy.
Well, that's fine for the Wu-Tang Clan, but I don't see anyone else doing that.
Right, most bands wouldn't want to do anything like this, but copyright gives them the control they need to experiment with creative ways to release and profit from their work. Someday, you might be a recording artist with music of your own to share, maybe on YouTube or Spotify, or maybe not. Maybe you'll have your own ideas for how you want to release your music. Copyright means you have the choice.
When you share your creativity, you're enabling people anywhere to use it, learn from it, and be inspired by it. Take the teacher, who shapes young minds with work and wisdom from around the globe, and the artist, who builds beauty out of bits and pieces she finds online, and the writer, whose stories use ideas and images crafted by people you've never even met. These people know that when you share your creative wealth, you can accomplish great things. They and millions of other people all around the planet are working together to build a richer, better, more vibrant culture using Creative Commons. To understand Creative Commons, you need to know a little bit about how copyright works. Did you know that when you create something, anything, from a photograph to a song, to a drawing, to a film, to a story, you automatically own an all rights reserved copyright to that creativity? It's true. Copyright protects your creativity against uses you don't consent to. But sometimes full copyright is too restrictive. What about when you want all those millions and millions of people out there to use your work without the hassle of coming to you for permission? What if you want your work to be freely shared, reused, and built upon by the rest of the world? Luckily, there's an answer. Creative Commons. We provide free copyright licenses you can use to tell people exactly which parts of your copyright you're happy to give to the public. It's easy. It only takes a minute and it's totally free. Just come to our website and answer a few quick questions like, will you allow commercial uses of your work? And will you allow your work to be modified? Based on your answers, we'll give you a license that clearly communicates what people can and can't do with your creativity. You don't give up your copyright, you refine it so it works better for you. Welcome to a new world where collaboration rules. It didn't even exist just a few years ago, but now there are millions and millions of songs, pictures, videos, and written works available to share, reuse, and remix, all for free. Want to work together? Then join the Commons. Creative Commons.
Okay, and finally, I want you to pause on this slide and I want you to reread the article and answer these questions. What was digitized? What was the goal or purpose of digitizing this thing? Is someone benefiting from this situation? If so, who? Is someone being harmed in this situation? If so, who? Are these impacts intended or unintended? How do you know? And then go back and annotate the article by adding the following. Add a plus next to sentences that show benefit and a minus next to sentences that show harm, and add a face next to sentences that show impact. You could decide what kind of face, I guess. And share some of these sentences you annotated. Did everyone identify the same areas? Also, it's really cool to look up on YouTube songs that have been stolen from artists, and you can listen to them, and you can hear just how similar they are. And then finally, we'll do this in class. Just think about complete this sentence. How can copyright help, or hurt society? So At the top, you can talk about how it helps, and at the bottom, we'll talk about how it can hurt. Okay, thank you.